make of what we'd heard from hostages and their families today?
Very hard to be absolutely clear, remembering that the husband of that hostage you were just playing the clip of, and both the hostages who were released last night, their husbands are still in captivity. Um, However, it does kind of match with what we know of previous hostage takings. Obviously, it's very brutal when it happens, and she also described being hit by sticks as she was taken on a motorbike over the border. But once there, they know they have to look after them and keep them alive, if only for use as hostage exchanges later. It's one of the reasons they take them, and of course they have to think what those people will say if and when they are exchanged.
And why do you think Hamas did release those hostages? Is it because they know that some of Israel's allies, like the US, are putting pressure on it to defer a ground invasion until all the hostages have been released?
So I think there are several explanations that you could come up with. I mean, there is a broader negotiation being mediated by Qatar over the hostages. It's not very successful in terms of getting all those hostages released. And but they are obviously Hamas making possibly goodwill gestures to Qatar, perhaps rather than Israel, in releasing 4 hostages so far. Um, this couple were both are obviously elderly, have health issues, and I think there was, you don't want, if you do have hostages in Hamas's position, you don't want them, falling seriously ill or dying on your hands. So I think in some ways Hamas's explanation that it was humanitarian is also true. I think thirdly, Hamas want to drag this whole process out. There is this linkage being made now between the ground invasion and the hostages. Israel has been very keen not to make that linkage, saying it's two totally separate issues. They will deal with the hostage issue as best they can, but they will also take the military action required to destroy Hamas. Hamas, by putting these hostage releases into the middle of a conversation between America and Israel about when and how this invasion should happen, is, if you like, putting into people's heads that there is a linkage and that they can, in some way, leverage this politically.